All right, Korey McMahon Marketing. Guys, thank you so much for having me this morning. I love to have these interactive sessions today. It's not about me. I want to make this about you guys, so I will be asking a lot of questions. We've got so many brilliant minds in here, so I want us to learn from each other. All right, today is just about some email marketing. I remember about a decade ago when I had my AOL account, it was like, you've got mail. Stoked, right? It was so awesome. And now you all are, he's already on his phone checking his mail right now. Now it's just almost like it's overwhelming and it's just inundating, right? So the question is it still effective? Thoughts?
Yes.
Anyone disagree? Really? Well, this will be really easy today. All right.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, blah, 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 statistics. It's like, okay, it's got all this huge ROI. We heard a testimonial this morning. It worked for today. One of the things I want to point out, and we're going to talk a little bit more about, well, where does email marketing actually fit into your strategy, into your client's strategy? I do want to give a big shout out to my content writers. Raise your hand. Whoop, whoop. All right, a bunch of content writers. Huge return on investment with organic search engine optimization, content writing. And again, this was just a little chart. Email marketing's kind of trailing down here. So again, you need to focus on each marketing strategy or tactic has its role in the sales funnel. Let's talk about what the sales funnel looks like. Generally speaking, in any organization, any business, the sales funnel can really be brought down into three main areas. Okay, the first top of the funnel is the ability to get found. So if I'm looking for your product and service, I'm going to probably search on the internet, and I hope I find you. Agree? All right, good nods there. The second component is now that they have found my organization, my business, my website, my social media, how well do they engage in my brand? So are they filling out a contact form? Are they liking me? Are they following me? Are they doing some sort of engagement with my company? The third and final area is, well, how well do you convert them? Okay, how are you converting them, and how are you retaining them? So when I think of the sales funnel, that's how I break it apart. Email marketing for my business is more of that staying engaged. It's that lower sales funnel, staying engaged and trying to convert more customers. That's what it is for my business. So think about today as we're talking about this, well, how can it work for you, your clients? What part of the sales funnel does it fit in? Because it's not the end all be all, go quit doing everything that you're doing and just focus on email marketing. It has its role. Awesome? Awesome. All right. All right, so creating an email blast, an email campaign. The most important thing is that subject line. Has anyone else heard this before? That subject line, test and measure your subject lines. It's really critical. I have so much fun with subject lines. We spend more time, this is just crazy, we really spend more time on trying to create the perfect subject line than the actual entire email campaign. Because if we can get, what did you say, 20% this morning? We can get a 20 to 30 to 40 to 50%, just continue to get more people to open, well, we're going to have a more effective results, click-through rates. So let's just go through some of these things that we like to make sure we check off when we're doing our email campaigns. A clear subject line. Number two, this was a new thing that we've really been focusing on is don't send it from your company name. Send it from someone within the organization's name. Anyone following Hillary Clinton's campaign? Anyone on her email list? It's done brilliantly. She tricks me every time because I open it because I don't know who the guy is or gal that's sending me the email campaign. It's brilliant. Every time I get an email campaign from them, I open it because it's coming from someone's actual name. Our last email campaign, actually it was 2 email campaigns ago. Subject line was, "Hi, it was nice meeting you." And it was sent from our new employee. Highest open rate in the history of our company, because people actually thought they had met her. And so they're like, "Who's this girl?" Open. It was unbelievable. We just have this huge spike in open rates. And then they got to meet her within the email campaign. Number 3, make sure it's branded. I'm talking to all you guys in here that are experts. Make sure it looks the way and feels everything across your market. Make sure it looks and feels the way that everything else is working. Make sure the content is personalized. I'm going to talk about the importance of this. We can no longer, as marketers, just have generalized content. You guys know this. The more specific that I can be to your needs, which are very different from your needs, the more effective I'm going to be able to communicate with you too. Appropriate segments. So within your email campaigns, you can actually say, okay, these are my retail customers, these are my clients, these are my prospects. You can actually create those different segments so that you can tailor that message appropriately. Images. Oh, I'm talking to a group of a bunch of young people. We don't want to read, we want to look and watch. Make sure you have compelling imagery. Social media sharing buttons. This is such a funny thing. I go on so many websites that have great content, great blogs, but I can't share it. It's like this really simple, you're not allowing me to share this. Like, put a button on there, you know? It's a really simple thing that is often overlooked. Number 8, really important. If I can't unsubscribe, now I really don't like you. Now I'm mad. Now I'm going to throw this chair, and I'm going to hit spam, and I'm going to, if you don't want to be on my list, I don't want you on my list. Make it easy. I like to make sure people are unsubscribing. You don't want my content? Great. Get off my list. Because I don't want to annoy you. I don't want to pester you. I want to make sure I'm delivering the right content to the right people. Clear call to action. The most important thing with email marketing is making sure you have analytics and data, having links to continue to read more, linking your photos to continue to read more is really important. We're going to go into that right now. All right, so our last email campaign was the most successful email campaign we've had in the history of our company. Would you guys be interested in what we did? All right, cool. All right, so one of the things we do, who uses like Constant Contact, MailChimp, bunch of hands? Okay, we use both platforms. Here's where marketers really miss out. They send out an email campaign. Hey, come to this event. Click here to learn more. But then they don't do anything with that data. So I send out an email campaign. This is our process. 24 hours later is when we start getting to work. I actually know within our email campaign who opened it, who clicked where, and where they went afterwards. So for our last campaign, we were really specific. We are introducing commercial and real estate capture services, video and photography. We're just blowing up in this area. So we were very intentional. We're not just doing video and photography services. It's for who? Real estate. So I was really specific. We can do video and photo for other industries, but no, this is only for the real estate. So we looked on this image, 15.4% click-through rate on this image. Guess who got a phone call 24 hours later? Everyone that clicked on that thing. Hi, this is Korey from McMahon Marketing. We recently sent out an email campaign about some new services that we're offering. Did you receive it? Did you see what I did there?
You got her to say yes.
I did get her to say yes. And guess what? What if you said no? And I know it because you clicked through, and I have your entire name and database. I know when you opened it. I know how many times you opened it, clicked through. It's unbelievable. This is where marketers really miss out. You've got to use this data. I kind of call it a trap. I've trapped you. I know you're interested. So if you didn't register, David, yeah, I know we were talking outside earlier about your conference. We do a lot of conference marketing. A lot of people will click and, it's $150. Like, I don't really have the day off. Well, while I got you on the phone, are there any questions that you have about the conference? Yes, he's coming from IBM. He's a great speaker. Guarantee it's worth your time. The money is nothing. It's your time that I'm asking for. Closing sales like crazy. You see the value in that? Other things we do, just looking at the data. This was the last email campaign. The most clicked link was a video. Guess what? The best part about this email campaign, I did this for my own research. That was the last thing at the very bottom of our email campaign. And it was the most clicked area. People love videos. This is why I wanted to test this. I knew if I put it at the top, it was going to be the #1 click, but I was like, you know what? I'm throwing it at the trash at the bottom. And it was the most clicked link in our email campaign. Interesting, right? It's a really easy sale for selling videos. Mobile friendly. My last email campaign, 53.9% were on mobile. If your email campaigns, when you send your little tests out, you got to make sure your mobile version is just mwah, because that is what everyone is using. You guys, the data of this mobile is just mind-blowing. More people spend more time accessing the internet on their mobile phones than a computer. It's just crazy. Questions or concerns about this before we move on? Okay. Email marketing, and let's talk about its value. One of the things I think is really insightful, really interesting, is data is worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money. It actually increases the value of a business. Small businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, they are purchasing when they are selling, acquiring, they are purchasing access to your customers. Having really good data has a massive value on an organization. Just some other things. You staying in front of your prospects, your customers, staying top of mind. You're getting a lot more referrals. I always want to drip information on people. One thing I learned, let's talk about my dad. So my dad, I'm going to go back about a year and a half. He had not started on social media, so the only way to really connect with him from a digital standpoint was email. One day I was talking to my dad, and he goes, "Wait a minute, your company does websites?" I'm like, really? My own father doesn't know all the products and services that I offer. My own dad. I mean, this was like, really? So I realized a while back, some of my customers aren't on Facebook. Some of them aren't tweeting. See that? Some of them aren't using all these social media platforms, but they are on email. And so I realized at that point in time, I had failed to communicate all the products and services that I offer. And that was a costly moment, just realizing we have failed miserably. They do claim for B2B situations, it is one of the most cost-effective strategies, and it does keep a really strong pipeline when you're using that data for sales. All right, so I'm going to open this up. What are you all doing to build your database? What are you guys doing?
We have a banner on the top of our website that says, like, sign up for our
How many people are filling that out on a week?
We have two different ways. So we have the thing on the top, and then we have one on the very bottom. So I don't know what they're coming from, but we probably get five to 10 people signing up a week.
Good for you. Very good. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. Does someone monitor who those people are when they sign up? Cool. Do you send a personal email?
Yeah.
Good for you guys. That's a round of applause on that one. That's a huge, very good. Come on up. I'm going to sit down. What else are people doing?
Social media, applications like MailChimp integrations, things like that.
Ooh, you just said the I word. Integrations. So you're using MailChimp on Facebook, contact form, sign up for the newsletter, subscribes right to it. Beautiful. What else? Go ahead.
We have a car dealership that offers coupons for services on social media. You have to sign up. You have to give your email though to get the coupon.
Awesome. Give me your contact information and you're going to get something in return. Beautiful.
Kind of the same thing, this is a little more clunky. We do prize giveaways at events and take the information. Not sure how to digitize that. Maybe that's a question. What's the best way to turn that into a list?
Okay. Beautiful. Prize giveaways. What else? What else is working really well?
I have an example from a client. When they go to trade shows, that's often where they'll like have the iPad thing, and that's great for prospective clients. And usually they'll send an email, hey, nice to meet you at the trade show. This is the things we offered, and things like that.
Awesome. Oklahoma State Fair's coming up pretty soon. Generate like 50 billion leads off of it, because everyone loves free stuff. What else is working really well?
A couple of opportunities are converting existing subscribers to print newsletters and stuff, and also just your existing stock of customers. You may well have their email addresses, just maybe not explicit permission to email to them.
Okay. Ooh, he just brought up a really good question. What is permission? Anyone get on a list that you're just like, what? I didn't subscribe to Victoria's Secret. Okay, maybe I did. No. What is permission? This is a really good question. If I give you my business card, is that permission? It is. It is. It is permission. Get out your Rolodex or whatever you do. Those people, get them onto your list. I've got an intern who I love dearly, Joshua, shout out. I was actually just pointing to the camera in case he watches it. Yeah, I was like, what's up, Josh? Bless his heart. Yesterday, he inputted another 100 business cards. I mean, that's all he does. First name, last name, phone number, contact. He just does that, and then he just imports it. Yeah, it's pain in the rear, but guess what? I network like crazy. I speak a lot. I meet a lot of people. If you would like to be on my email list, give me your business card. That is a really easy one for small business. That's a really easy one.
I think I am on your email list, and I've been wondering how I got there.
Okay. Okay, let me give you another example. Let me go a little gray area. Okay, let's go a little gray area, because this is a really huge question is, what is permission? Let's use LinkedIn. Who uses LinkedIn? Okay, who's got like more than 500 contacts? Majority of the room. Within 3 clicks of a button, you can actually export your entire LinkedIn database to a gorgeous CSV file that can be imported into MailChimp. Can you legally do that?
So since you have to accept their connection manually.
This is real gray, isn't it? Depends on the situation. I can, because guess what? I do not accept your requests unless I have personally shaken your hand and I've met you. If you are a person that just accepts every request, that's bad. You've gone too far. So it's another option. And this kind of all comes back to your current network. Who's in your current network? I'm sure if I'm not connected with my uncle on LinkedIn and I added him to the database, I'm sure he wouldn't be upset. But Joe Schmo walking down the street is going to be pretty upset. So, great question. What else? How about this? What failed miserably? Because sometimes we can learn more from, we tried this and it failed miserably. Any examples there?
I have an example, but it's not exactly that. Right now for Confluence, at the very bottom of our website, when they've gone right through the website and they're ready to make an action, we have to sign up for the email, not the register. And we're seeing every day like 5 people signing up for the email and 1 buying tickets. So in a way we're failing. We're making the wrong.
It's sending information that's irrelevant to your list. So if you're a florist, you don't send information on cards.
Great example. I had someone come up, print off our email campaign, and he said, this has no relevance. This is awful. It's like, thanks for making me feel really small. But it's like, he's right. After I looked it over, I was like, team, this content sucks. Like, what were we thinking? It's great getting that feedback.
Super important for an organization like the Oklahoman. So they have a big email list, but it's not very well segmented. So you might love the sports page, but if you get an email about, the crime beat, you don't care.
Yeah, it hurts the brand. It does. All right, well, let's do some really simple ideas. Who signed in today? I think everyone had to sign in at some point, right? At the front door, okay? There you go, you got 50 more email to send out. Client intake form, really simple. You guys, here's what we did. Carolyn at my office, she's my boss. She was brilliant and came up with this idea of, okay, when we sign on a new client, I want not only their email and their address, but I want their anniversary date. I want their birthdays. For not only our client, but also the spouse and any important business partners. Today is Thursday. Yesterday morning, a client came up. It was at a networking event, and he announced to everyone, I want to thank McMahon Marketing for reminding me that it was my anniversary today. I was like, yes. We look awesome. That card came in the mail. He goes, it's my anniversary tomorrow. I was like, thank you for the reminder, which kind of prompted me to really think about this even more. Should we be sending those a week ahead of time to the guy, to the man? Yeah. So collecting business cards, we already talked about that. Who's in your network? Asking on the phone. Really simple things. All right, a little bit more advanced level. All right, so adding on to your email signature, free downloads. Huge. Hey, just give me your email and I'll give you, what we're doing right now is on our homepage, you can download chapter 1 of my next book that's coming out. No email address is even required. We're kind of taking this to the next level. It's like, you know what? We're just going to give. We don't even want your email address, which I don't like my web designer for wanting to do that. But we're doing free downloads, blogging, white papers. Hey, 10 things you should know about XYZ product, 3 things that are dangerous. Fear in marketing works really well. Getting those, again, headlines are really, really important, getting people to do that. Contests, giveaways, coupons, fish bowls, put your name in. Let's talk about some contests that we did that were pretty awesome. One was, anyone, Gary England drinking game, right? Well, we couldn't use Gary England. We couldn't use his name, so we just did the tornado drinking game. And you could submit your own rule. And, like, hey, what's the drinking rule for when, the tornado's on your street? We had like 5,000 submissions in the first 24 hours, and they had to give us their email address to submit. So it was brilliant. It's a little edgy, but for the client, it was an appropriate campaign for that client. That was really effective. iPads, you hear about those all the time. Sign up for an iPad, sign up for this technology piece, $500 prize. People are usually going to pay attention. In terms of cost for, this is a little bit different, but in terms of cost for giveaways, think about this for your clients. How much is an iPad worth? $500-600, right? Okay, there's a hard cost to purchasing an iPad. What I encourage our clients to do is give something that has a higher perceived value but lower cost to the business. So I could say, enjoy a date night with one of my staff members. Okay? It might cost me $50 to go pay for dinner for my staff member and some lucky winner, but there might be a higher perceived value of, oh, wow, she's really good looking or he's really good looking. This could be a lot of fun. So I always try and think of how can you create, and this is a bad example, but, but how can you create a higher perception value, but it costs me nothing to really do that. Does that make sense? That's just about giveaways. Hosting events, today we used Eventbrite to sign up, right? Great tool. The cost is virtually nothing. Someone has already said my I word, integration. We are in a world where let the technology talk together, so you don't need to have an intern manually input everything. Integrate your software. Integrate everything so it just works. Automate that process. So when they sign up, they get an immediate campaign back. Another one 24 hours later. Another one a week later. Whatever is appropriate, automate that process. You can integrate with CRM, social media, surveys, accounting software. This was an important item for one of our clients. They had thousands of people in their accounting software, but they never thought about tapping into their current clients for their email marketing. It was just kind of like this moment of, whoa, missed opportunity right there. So they're in your system. They already know you. They've already paid you money. Let's hope that they can get your email campaigns. Any other ideas?
I have a question about that one. Let's say you go into your accounting software and you grab all those people who bought something but never wanted to sign up for that. Are you sending them a one-off, hey, join our email marketing, or are you just throwing them in the list and on you go?
Great question. Really great question. I would say you would need to take it case-by-case situation. Honestly, it just depends on the client. Depends on the product that they're offering, the service that they're offering. It's kind of that gray area. It's a real gray area. That's permission, though. If they've purchased from you, they've given you permission.
I have a question quickly as well. The trade show example I used earlier, let's say my client's giving away a Yeti cooler at a really popular home and garden show. People are only signing up because they really want that Yeti.
Okay.
I don't think they really are interested in my client. I might be wrong, but it seems like that the ROI on those leads are not as great. Are people getting mad when they're signing up for free things and contests if it's that kind of...
Okay, let's ask the room. Let's ask the room. Who here signed up for a Yeti cooler and didn't expect some sort of follow-up? It's just kind of given. Listen, I'm giving you my information. I'm going to expect something. So then it's our job as marketers not to piss them off. Be appropriate with how frequent am I going to start sending these campaigns? Or, hi, thanks for signing up for the Yeti cooler. You are now subscribed to our email list. Click here to get off. Again, I want to make it real easy because I don't want to make people upset. Because we have those companies that it's like, really, daily? You're going to email me?
So for situations like that, are you creating separate lists because you expect a higher unsubscribe rate than you say you were collecting from people at a trade show?
I like to segment them. This was the trade show. Do they want to subscribe to the master list? Hey, this was absolutely.
So, but even so, you have one list and you just segment instead of creating a separate list.
Depending on the client and the software and the capabilities, I would do segments, but it's easier to manage sometimes, depending on the resources and.
We have customers that buy our database to send out email marketing or messages
yes, buying lists, I can personally say I'm not a fan of because of that reason. Then I can't control, and I personally will unsubscribe. I would probably be doing what you're doing, quite honestly, Pubco marketing. It drives you crazy. Yeah. All right, some other things that are really popular that work really well. You know, we talked about these fan gates. People already said this. Hey, you have to like us in order to do something. Hey, whoa, block, you can't see this until you. I find that they are super effective, but I don't like them. But they work. Those are just a couple of things that I wanted to show up. All right, integration and automation, and then we'll just kind of open it up for any other things. Guys, this is where it's at. You have got to streamline processes. If you're data entering like we have to do for the business cards, this is just a total waste of your time. Automate these processes. So I signed up for your email campaign. I immediately shoot back. It might be an offer. Hey, thanks for signing up. Here's some sort of offer. You can put in automated processes to say, okay, after they sign up, I'll give you an example that we did for a mortgage company, super successful. Immediately when you signed up, it shot you back, congratulations, here's more information about the program. 24 hours later, here's email campaign 2. All right, now your next steps are to meet with a qualified lender. Email campaign 3, a week later, you know, hey, here's my personal contact information if you have any issues throughout this process. 30 days later, it was just this final, all right, thank you so much. Automated that entire campaign, because here's what happened was the campaign was no down payment for first-time home buyers. We made one social media post. All the realtors in the state shared it. They had like 500 loan applications in the first evening. And it was a small office. They're like, crap, turn it off. I'm like, you guys just made like $1 billion, literally. I was like, I should have been on commission for this one. And so they're like, oh my gosh. I was like, don't worry, don't worry. The mechanisms are in place. You can start calling them at your leisure, but don't worry. Email campaign 1 and 2 already went out. The next one's on its way. That can really save your butt when things go viral. That's what I really like. I love when things go crazy. And you get, when I worked at Mountain Dew, 2 million views in the first hour. You know, it's just like, wow, this is wild. That's what I love, is to see things just go bananas. Anything else?
Are there any marketing automation software that you like or use? Marketo and HubSpot are a couple that
HubSpot's great. Oh, mwah. They're like my holy grail. Love HubSpot. Do you like them?
I haven't actually used it yet, but I've gone through numerous demos.
It's HubSpot, great company. It is one of those, like, you need to be on it full time to maximize it. It's intense. It's like Salesforce. It has every bell and whistle, and you can just go crazy getting it all, trying to utilize it properly.
Right, I think it's about $1,000 roughly per customer, or like per use.
It's very pricey. I believe the entry point is $600 a month, but you can only have like 10 people in your list. And then it starts going up. It's $1,000, $2,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month, depending on how many people are on your list.
So you cobble that automation together with MailChimp?
You can. HubSpot also has, like I said, they have everything. You can do.
So if your client can't afford that though?
MailChimp has, very good question. What if you can't afford HubSpot, like most people on the planet? Right, let's be real. MailChimp, Constant Contact, they have, it's a paid feature for the automation campaigns. Great question. Go ahead.
What about health-related type clients? A lot of them, you could have potential clients that could do some, but they'll start to clam up because of HIPAA concerns. Has that been an issue?
Oh yeah, health, banking. Oh, they're great. I love them. Anywhere there's red tape, I have a lot of fun with those clients because I push them out of their comfort zone. There's a lot of rules and regulations and software that you can and cannot use, and that just has to be a deeper conversation. Yeah, a lot of security. fun. Go ahead.
When you talked earlier about sending from a personal name,
Yes.
if you've been sending for the last 2 years from newsletter at companyname.com, and you switch to their first name, are you going to see any, is it going to start going to spam or any problems with that?
I've not seen that.
You haven't? Okay.
Go ahead and test it on a small segment. I'm talking to a room of really high expertise in content writing, but if there's anyone that wants to learn the very, very basics and importance of blogging, I'd be more than happy to invite you to our office in a couple weeks, September 3rd, 1 o'clock. Real casual. My boss's email's up there. So. All right. Thank you guys all so much for having me. I appreciate your time.